Transformers of Eternia.
You're watching Transformers of Eternia. Now today I want to do a review and kind of take a look at what I recently got, and that is Transformers Age of the Primes, The Fallen. And this guy is pretty amazing. But before I talk about him, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this. And thank you for checking out my channel. Now back to the show. Okay, so here is The Fallen in all his glory with his flames and all the effects going on all at the same time. And this guy, I just can't stop gushing about how much I love this guy. This is one of my favorite villains of all time, even though he only appeared in a comic book for a little bit. And yeah, he appeared in a movie, but I didn't really care for the movies as much as I love seeing this guy in his War Within design, because this is how I've always wanted Fallen figure to look like. And I've always wanted the toy, but they've never actually put out a good version of the Fallen, even in third-party toys or whatever. There's never actually been a good version of him that looked and felt like he's on fire perpetually and he's more or less the most sinister and evil looking, until Hasbro decided to do this. This basically makes up for all of it, and this is the perfect version. I'm so glad they didn't go with more of a movie styling version, even though the movie version didn't really bother me terribly, but it wasn't exactly what I wanted. It was too skinny and weird. But this version just feels like The Fallen. It feels like it basically feels like the Transformers version of the devil. And he just looks so good. I just can't tell you. I mean, I don't think video really covers how cool this guy looks. Now, there is one little problem that I have with him. Not a real big one, but it is a problem, or it's not really a problem. It's something I really don't like. And that is the way that these feet look here. It's really empty in here, although I do understand why it is, because it has to kind of fold and go in its place under, with something filling in that. But it's like you couldn't figure out a way to fill that in a little more so it actually has like a foot that's completely filled in. Other than that, I don't really see any major issues with this guy. I think this guy looks just, I mean, I've said it already, and I'll probably say it a few hundred more times. I think this guy looks like everything that you can ever imagine that the original Decepticon logo would have come from. And this guy looks, it's just the sinister look that he has. It looks, I mean, looking at his face even looks like he's he looks like he's just glowing inside even, like eternally. Now, I wish they would have gone with a more orange into red type of coloring inside here, but I understand it's a lot of paint work to make it look like it's deep inside, it's orange, and then it gets lighter as it comes out. That would have been a lot more work, and I wish that there was a little bit more light yellow highlights or orange highlights even in the inner workings in here and stuff. So, and then maybe even in the cannon even. But that, I mean, for the price we're paying, this feels like a Commander class figure. I hate to say it that way, but we're getting like a $50-something Commander class here. That's the way this feels. This thing is huge. Like it's not really like a small figure. This thing feels filled in. There's a lot of filled in spots. Now you might, I mean, I'm sure a third party is going to be doing an inside leg type of thing here. I mean, I'm sure they'll be doing some kind of thing to fill that in. And I'm sure that there'll be some third-party stuff or maybe add-ons or whatever. And maybe in tank mode or whatever, they might do something to make it look different. I don't know. But for the most part, I think that this thing looks absolutely perfect. Like this is like something that I would just say is one of the best, So anyway, this guy really looks great. So I'm hoping that we can, I'm hoping that the rest of the primes will be similar and in quality as this one, because this really is very awesome. So anyway, I should do some comparisons because there's a lot of comparisons I want to do to this guy for other characters. So let's put him next to the big one, the one that kind of just takes up so much space, and that is Ultra Magnus. Now, Ultra Magnus is a Commander class figure, so you're going to expect him to be pretty big, and considering that he is a semi-truck and a trailer all in one figure, that's why he's so big. But yeah, this guy here doesn't feel small, though, next to him. He feels about right. And this guy, because he's so bulky and big, it feels like these two are even on the same level almost. So yeah, that's cool. So let's take Ultra Magnus out of here. Let's compare him next to Megatron, which mine is, I've noticed that this one's been sitting inside my shelf in the dark, basically, not really in the light, and still it's yellowing, which is not good. This is Earthrise Megatron. And Earthrise Megatron is, we definitely need a new Megatron. We absolutely need a new Megatron. So Studio Series Megatron needs to come sooner than later. Because this one here, like this yellowing, is not good. I don't understand what they're doing. And then they keep using this mold, so I have like, what, 5 of this mold somewhere around here. I have multiples. So I hope to God those are not going to start yellowing too, because they're not really sitting out in the sun either. So it's weird that this guy has been sitting on a shelf kind of in a darker place, not really in the light, and still yellows, which scares me because Soundwave is one of my favorites and I don't want him to start yellowing. But anyway, that's Megatron next to the Fallen. So now let's put the guy that I actually thought that they were going to make the Fallen out of originally, which I am so glad that they made an original mold. And that is Tarn. Him next to Tarn, I mean, they are very similar in design, you know, in certain ways anyway. And so I'm surprised that they didn't use Tarn as a mold for the Fallen, because they have a similar kind of feel. But yeah, and I mean, this guy, he wears the Decepticon logo on his face. I mean, and this guy's supposed to be the Decepticon logo. But whatever. Anyway, I just think it's cool that these guys, that they made them out of 2 different molds. So there's that. And then I'll also compare him next to Grimlock, which is a big boy too. So Grimlock, standing next to him, is fairly close to the same size even. I mean, he's almost as big as Grimlock, which is pretty cool. So there is that anyway. So now I want to compare him to Optimus Prime. That's the Studio Series, the best version of Prime ever. And there he is next to him. And he is fairly close to the same size even. But it's good that the Fallen is actually bigger, because I think the Fallen should be bigger than Prime to be more intimidating and all that. So it's kind of nice that that's the way they did it. And I guess I'll also compare him next to Bumblebee, just to kind of throw that in there as well. So there he is next to Bumblebee. Obviously, Bumblebee is very small. And then I want to do another comparison. Actually, I'll do a couple more, but I want to do a comparison to the Orion Pax, or whatever. Mine is upgraded, but this one here is this one that we got in that set with him and Megatron, or him and Megatron when he was a minor Megatron. Anyway, there he is next to him. So that's kind of cool. And then I want to take and put the I think this is, what is this, Magic Square? Anyway, whatever, this version of Megatron, the one that turned into the gun, the Generations sized Megatron. So I put a Decepticon symbol on him, obviously. But yeah, that's what he looks like next to him. That looks very cool, because that is legit Megatron. So there he is next to him. So that's like all the comparisons I think I need to do. That's a lot of comparisons. So also I wanted to kind of take a look at obviously his posability is amazing. You could do this even. You can obviously do this. You can do the whole arm, everything, posability with all that. His hand even poses, you know, you can do that with his hands. Obviously, he can do pretty much everything that you want him to do. He's got waist articulation. He can bend his leg like this, all the way back. You know, he can do all these things. Bend his knee. He's got the foot articulation. You could do everything with this. I mean, this is like really posable. So you got all that. Anyway, and this is how he looks without his flames on, obviously. Probably when he was a regular one of the 13 primes anyway, before he decided to become Lucifer Prime. Anyway, but yeah, that's how he looks. And also his gun can just kind of open like this somehow. There it is. Anyway, and then it goes to be longer. So you can actually take that. And there's also 2 holes up here. You can put it in, I put it in the back one because I don't want it to be super long or whatever. And also you got this actual gun piece. You can, like his tank mount, which is similar to Megatron's. So he's got a super long gun if you want to do it like that. But yeah, it's like that. So you got that. But yeah, you can do it however you want. I had it in the beginning of the video. I had it like this. So you could have it like that, you know, but it's up to you. Whatever way you like it is the way that works best. So yeah, and then his weapons, he's got this thing or whatever it's very similar to the movie version, I guess. So he's got like a staff type of thing, which is cool, but I don't really think of this as the movie because I don't really care about the movie version. But like these 2 things are just extra. He just has so many weapons. I mean, if you look at this, the things that comes with this guy, he's almost a commander class. He's just got so much stuff. Like he's got all these flame effects. He's got this. I mean, look at this. Look at all that stuff. This guy's like, he's like maxed out. And also this here and this here. I mean, he's got just so much stuff. Yeah, these are like extra weapons that you can use on him. So it's like he comes with like everything. So this guy is I think this guy is worth the money. This guy, you're getting everything that you ever wanted for your money with this guy. So I would definitely say out of all the primes that we're going to get, I think this one is a must-have out of all of them. I haven't gotten all the other primes, so I don't know. But I mean, I do have Vector Prime somewhere around here, but I think that this guy is the best version of all the primes, other than Optimus Prime Studio Series, obviously. But anyway, of the 13 primes anyway. So that being said, let's transform him, and then I'll come right back. Okay, so here is the Fallen transformed and in his tank mode or whatever. But yeah, you can see that the flames can still go on. And he is posable with the turret and everything, which is kind of cool. Unfortunately, the looseness of the arms, it only attach back here, right here and here. So it kind of pegs in like, it kind of pegs in like Megatron, the Earthrise Megatron or whatever, the Siege one. Anyway, and it's kind of similar to that, only this one here is actually not connected. Like you can literally have these are kind of loose, you know, so it's weird. But anyway, you get to actually turn his whole thing, his whole gun and everything, as long as you're not doing all the movement of these things. But yeah, you can get it to where it looks kind of interesting. And I mean, this guy, I don't think originally would have had a transformation as one of the primes, but his transformation is unbelievably difficult with this guy. I mean, a lot of little parts might fall off. They peg back in or whatever, but it's like there's a lot of little things that you have to move around and do all this extra transformation stuff to get to this level. So I guess the transformation is not something I'm really happy about. These guns right in here, I knocked one of these off like twice doing this. Of course, they just pin back in, but it's like, man, it's kind of annoying. But I'm never a fan of actually the gun having to be like put in after the whole thing is all done, like it's parts forming. I'm never a fan of that, but it's what it is. It's whatever it takes. I don't care. We got the actual Fallen, and he actually looks like the Fallen. He looks proper. So I'm not going to complain. And I mean, you could take off all these flames and everything. They're just pinned in there. See with the little pin right there. Anyway, so they just mount right in there like that. But yeah, you can have him like in his normal tank form. But it just kind of drives me a little insane because he should be looking like he should look like the comic, like the image that they tried to create, which is this one in the comic books. And I believe this is the image that they wanted to have him transform into. But unfortunately, I don't even think that made it to the comic books. It was just a design that they came up with. But this is the Fallen should turn into some kind of a space-looking thing, not really like a earthly tank with a turret and everything. That just seems weird to me because he is such an alien to Earth. He doesn't actually go to Earth. I mean, yeah, in the Revenge of the Fallen or whatever, yeah. But I'm saying like he doesn't actually take an Earth vehicle. So it's just weird that he has a turret that looks just like an Earth turret. He looks like a tank in a lot of earthly ways. So that kind of drives me a little nuts. But other than that, I mean, also tank treads instead of being like a hover tank or something. You know, it just seems weird that they would make it more Earth-like. But complaining aside, you can put the weapons and stuff on him wherever you want. I mean, I think this would fit under... Well, never mind. You can't do that. I mean, you could take this right off. That's another thing that separates from it. And this is just kind of rubbery. See? But you can put this in here, I guess. Which I hate it when things go on the side like that. But I guess it doesn't look terrible. It kind of blends in. Anyway, but then you can go over here on this side and take the actual sword or whatever you want to call that, machete or I don't know. Anyway, and you can put that there, and that kind of does blend in a little bit. So that's not terrible. And you can also put them on the top. You have like six holes on the top that you could put that in. You have so many places to put things. It's insane. But yeah, and then you got these right here. You got a lot of places to put things on this. But this guy this is probably one of my favorite Decepticons or whatever. He's not really a Decepticon. He is the Decepticon logo. But I mean, like, this is one of my favorite villains in the Transformer universe. I absolutely love the Fallen. The whole concept around the Fallen, him being one of the 13 Primes, him being this big, bulky, like violent looking, devil of Transformers, perpetually on fire. I mean, all the things. I mean, and you got that logo right there if you can see it. That's kind of cool. But yeah, it just, you know, and he looks like the one in the Transformers 1 movie, which I don't know if a lot of people seen that because it seemed to be very unpopular. Unfortunately, the marketing screwed that movie up. I think it was not a bad movie compared to what the marketing made it look like. But anyway, the Fallen is very cool, and I'll compare him with other Transformers, some of them anyway. I don't have a lot transformed here. But to start off with, I better compare him to Optimus Prime, because that's a big one. So anyway, yeah, him and Optimus Prime are about similar in size. I mean, obviously Optimus Prime's pipes that always keep they always keep moving whenever you move them. And then let's have them next to Bumblebee, because that's the only ones I have transformed. So yeah, here's some next to Bumblebee. And yeah, you can see Bumblebee is very much smaller, obviously. But that's pretty much everything with this guy. I mean, this guy is a huge... I wanted to make not a lot of people watch these reviews when I do them, so I feel like I shouldn't even do reviews sometimes, because it's like other people do much better reviews than me. But the Fallen is one of those that I really just felt like I wanted to give my thoughts on this, because I love this figure. This is one of my favorites. I mean, I can't say that enough. So anyway, I just want to say that as it. I mean, this thing is just. I just can't believe we actually got the Fallen, like the actual Fallen from the War Within comic book, which is kind of like a deep cut. If you're if you don't know much about Transformers, that's like a deep thing. Like not too many people are going to think of the Fallen, you know, from that. But I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, this is how there's a lot of gaps inside here too, by the way. It's a lot of gaps, a lot of little things in there, but it's not terrible. It's definitely not the worst. You know, I've seen worse Transformers that barely have a alt mode at all. So at least they did come up with some kind of an alt mode. But yeah. So anyway, tell me what you think about this thing in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for watching.